Yo. All right, there we go. Why are you yelling? I'm streaming. Women. All right, now that I got everything up and running, I'm mad my goofball ass actually put Ronnie Lott and Ronnie Lott instead of Ronnie Lott and Marcus Allen. All right. Yo, 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 what's up? What is up? All right, so first things first, we're gonna go ahead and actually hop on Twitch real quick and look up and kind of see like what's going on. Now, unfortunately, I cannot play you guys any music because I did get hit with a copyright strike last time. So you ain't really gonna hear too much in the background. So you're just gonna hear my wonderful voice just going over these things. But we're gonna hop on Twitch, look at the live stream, and I'm gonna go over a couple things from the playoff promotion that will be dropping in like 12 hours. So, just a couple things I want to touch on just to kind of see while I'm going through my games. I need to be going through my apps just to kind of see and kind of give you a heads up if you don't already know. I'm pretty sure everybody in Mama already knows what's going on with the playoff promotion that'll be dropping. But just a couple key things that I wanted to kind of touch on that most people probably didn't really pick up on as I was watching the stream earlier. Oh Lord, I can't remember which one it was. Definitely isn't Cowboys ratings. Is it this? No, I mean it's not. It's definitely not the thing that says NFL playoffs. My goofball ass couldn't find. No, I don't want to see the chat. Disable the chat. It's not like it's live. All right, here we go. So let's go ahead. This first like 7 minutes is just like nothing but NFL playoffs. Like you're just looking at this and that big ass work in progress at the top left of the screen. So let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes. Oh nope, definitely skipped. Spoiler alert: got a Marshawn Lattimore. Yeah, it was just nope. Let's pause real quick. So this part of the stream, they were or prior to this part, there was Farrell's up there talking about like the new team of the week, players that were dropped yesterday, just kind of going over what was left in that promotion before they hopped into this. Of course, they're trying to promote the and inform everybody of the last snow offers that they have in the store right now, which actually is way better than I expected. But depending on how these prices settle, it might not really be worth it to go ahead and flip because you'll be losing a little over, I want to say 20K a pop. If you do it 4 times, you're really not making nothing off of it. But it could be a lot worse, honestly. But I don't even know if you can hear the guy. Might have to turn my game audio up.
Let's jump right into these guys. Let's get to those bosses. Gibbs, show me the bosses for the playoff program this year. Steve,
there we go.
Smith.
All right, so
best receivers in Ultimate Team.
Not really gonna listen to them a whole bunch, but looking on the screen, as you can see, if I can get this, it's probably gonna end up going off the screen shortly. I don't want to hit B and then exit the entire screen, but as you can see, you have a 97 overall Steve Smith Sr. that will be the NFC playoff master. If you're wondering what the NFC playoff master is, of course, there's 6 teams, or there's 12 teams in total in the playoffs. There's 6 in the NFC, 6 in the AFC. Each set or each team that's in the playoffs has a set, so you have to put 6 playoff cards into the set, of course, to get that team boss. Once you get that boss, of course, you have the option to not do the set, and I'll get into if you should or shouldn't in a second. But you have the option to do the set, and you get 97 overall Steve Smith if you do the NFC side, and then in just a second I'll show you the AFC set master. But Steve Smith, kind of a popular wide receiver when he first came out, and is actually very, very cheap. I think he goes for about 180K. Expect his price to either have shot up already or to shoot up even more tomorrow when the set actually drops. He's got 94 speed, 90 jumping, 95 catching, 96 catching traffic, 91 spectacular catch. Unfortunately, never mind. I found out how to do it. I'm slow. Don't mind me. But he's got 91 spectacular catch, 95 short route running, 91 mid route running with a 93 deep route running. This is actually a pretty decent card, but honestly, I've seen cards with similar stats to this, and they're actually less overall than 97. But I'm not going to go ahead and shortchange him like any way, shape, or form. This is actually a really good card. But like I said, I'll get into whether or not I think you should do these sets, in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and continue the stream. I might as well just go ahead and fast forward until you see the next card. But he's not really a bad card. I love the playoff promotions usually, but there's something different that kind of turned me off of him. And it's a little bit annoying that they keep doing stupid shit like this. I don't understand what EA does. They'll do something super awesome, and they'll do something super great, and then they'll turn right back around and just fuck it all up. Oh, man, I skipped way ahead. I keep forgetting this isn't like on the computer. So another spoiler alert, we got a DeAndre Hopkins. Let's see if this is it. Right here. So the AFC playoff master is 97 overall, Willie McGinnis. Yet again, I've seen I've seen cards with lesser overalls with these similar stats, but he's like 6'5", which is insane for a right outside linebacker. Now, I think there are maybe Anthony Barr and like maybe one other linebacker that's 6'5". I can't really think of him off the top of my head. He's 6'5", he's got 87 speed, 88 acceleration, 89 strength, 94 tackle, 97 play recognition, 92 finesse, power moves, and block shedding. So it's a pretty well-rounded card, but as his other card was, Lawrence Taylor already came out, and it kind of makes this card a little obsolete just due to the fact that Lawrence Taylor does have like insane speed, insane strength. His block shedding is high. Power moves is insane. Finesse move isn't, I don't think is as high as Willie McGinnis, but of course they had to go ahead and throw Willie McGinnis in there because he doesn't really get enough credit, even though this is like his major stat of his career or his major record of his career. He does lead the NFL in, well, he has the record, I should say, for the most sacks in the playoffs. So, of course, you had to go ahead and put Willie McGinnis in here. But his card this year, I think they blackballed, not blackballed him, but they kind of fucked him just a little bit. Now, I haven't actually used his card. I did pull his card one time, but I did quick sell it for the training and went ahead and did other things with it. But I'm assuming his card plays pretty decent with the rare blend of, you know, he's not the highest athlete that we have at the right outside linebacker position, but with his blend of athleticism, play recognition, and block shedding, power move, finesse move, I'm pretty sure that his player traits are going to be actually off the charts, seeing how he was a very well-rounded pass rusher. He did have the bull rush moves, the spin moves to go ahead and finesse around you, get to the quarterback. So those are things that I could see him possibly doing pretty well. But let's go ahead and continue the stream and see what other AFC and NFC cards that we get. And hopefully it's actually pretty decent.
Your boss, another one of your bosses for the playoff program. What a nice little combo. Be adding him to my Browns. Heroes together for each team.
Here we go. So, as you can see on the screen, got 95 overall, DeAndre Hopkins. Unfortunately, they did not put his stats. They put another one of the NFC or one of the playoff stats on the screen. So this is a little misconstrued. So the first time I seen it, the first thing I'm thinking of like when Steve Smith's stats were up here. I'm looking at his stats, thinking he's got 93 speed, 96 acceleration, and all this other stuff. And then it started clicking. I'm like, DeAndre Hopkins you wouldn't have 96 acceleration. He's not that damn fast. So alarms went off and looked down below. Definitely not 6'4". He's like 6'2". So I automatically recognized what was going on. And I'm thinking, God damn, I didn't think he had that good a run block or pass block for that matter. But yeah, we got a 95 overall DeAndre Hopkins. I know a specific person that is super duper hype about this one. Unfortunately, we don't have a sneak peek of what he's working with as far as his speed and everything, which is most likely the key stat that everybody looks at. But I expect him not to be anything underneath about a 92 speed, because that seems to be the thing. If not 92, he's like 91. And of course, they expect everyone to power these cards up to get to a 92 speed. And not really, I'm pretty sure he's going to be a really good card. His hands are going to be insane. His route runner is going to be pretty good. And I'm pretty sure his run blocking isn't, bad at all. Let's go ahead and rewind just a bit and pause so I can show you, give you a little bit of an idea. Oh, crap. See, this is why I didn't want to hit B. Let's go ahead and get back in there. I'm pretty sure we're at that 11-minute mark, if I'm not mistaken. No, we're probably at that 8-minute mark. See, this is why I don't do things like this.
Friday
Tend to fuck it up. Be fucking it up, Kenny.
Tenacious receiver.
Yeah, well, this probably was at 11-minute mark.
We're gonna get back to those and check.
Nope, definitely about that 10-20 mark.
They're all
right. So just so I can give you, like I said, a quick breakdown of how the overalls will be in these playoff sets. You will start off at an 84 overall, hits an 85, jumps to an 87, then it hits the 88, then you get a 91 and a 93 out of these sets. Something that they're doing a little different from last year. They're giving you the option to get better players for these playoff teams, especially for you guys that have like crazy theme teams out there. But a little disappointed in this particular one because they did give Demaryius Thomas a card, and my man's not even going to play in the playoffs. But apparently they feel some sort of entitlement and obligation to give people who have power-up cards more cards in order to keep the people happy. So that is something that I do applaud them for, and I will not sit there and give them shit for it. but probably could have threw somebody else in that mix. But like they said, it's also a work in progress. So some of this might change, and it might not. We'll just kind of have to see how it works out. I don't know if this is a common theme, but their legs are kind of faded out in the bottom or their of their card art. So maybe that's more like a thing they might copy and paste in and out, and kind of work the kinks out along as they go overnight. Now I'm pretty sure they're still up working on this. They have to be, because there's so much stuff that they said but didn't really say in the stream 100% to kind of give us like an idea of what they have going on. But I'm not really too sure if you can actually hear it, and if you can, you probably can't hear it 100%, especially over my crazy self. But fast forward just a little bit. Let's go ahead and get into the next boss, or I don't even call it hero. If we're talking like team of the week standards, it'd be like hero.
Overall players.
Yeah, I think this is the next one. So pausing it right here, the Seahawks we have. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that dude's name. I'm pretty sure it's Jermaine. That's probably like the ghettoest way that you can ever spell Jermaine I've ever seen in my life. You have Ifidi, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. You have Deion Jordan. Then you have Justin Coleman. I don't understand why they don't put these in like an overall order. Justin Coleman, Tyler Lockett, Frank Clark, who's actually a very underrated pass rusher in the National Football League. Bradley McDougald, who has apparently done a pretty good job for filling in for Cam Chancellor, as he unfortunately had to. I don't know if he's like necessarily officially retired, if he's just kind of taking a year off, but definitely doing his thing is his backup, or his replacement, I should say, not necessarily his backup. But fast forwarding just a wee bit to see if they showcased the card already or not. And they didn't. So this is actually the guy whose stats were showcased on the screen when DeAndre Hopkins was up here. And if you're just joining, welcome. Pretty sure you're the only other person in here. But yeah, so Dwayne Brown, who I honestly didn't think was really having that good of a season, because he is getting up there in age. I've seen him, me personally, when he first got traded, and that could be a possible reason why. But at the trade deadline last year, he was really struggling, especially as a Seattle Seahawk. Maybe it was that chemistry with Russell Wilson that kind of grew, because Russell is kind of like that guy who's just gonna move around the pocket and scramble a lot and just do a whole bunch of crazy stuff until he makes a play. But showcasing his stats, he does have 93 strength, 96 awareness, 94 pass block, 92 pass block power with a 95 pass block finesse, 94 run block, 90 run block power with a 94 run block finesse. So this is going to be the guy. He's very versatile as far as like run plays that you can do, but will be best for like inside zones. I'm not too sure what sweep is considered or toss, but I'm pretty sure he'll be able to fill that mold as well. I wish they could give us a little bit of a breakdown on like his acceleration and stuff, but of course they're going to hold up the good stuff until we get to see his card tomorrow. Oh my God, I did it again. It's my first reaction. Thank God it did not go all the way to the beginning. So, playing it on, let's see. They kind of went pretty fast on these. Oh, here we go. So we have Marshawn Lattimore. Honestly, not the person that I expected to get the playoff card. I figured it would be like Cameron Jordan. But as they've been doing with each promotion this year, they haven't officially released it, but I'm assuming that they're going to release like limited times throughout the year, just like it did with like Ghost of Madden players, Night Guardians, and I don't know if they did Most Feared limited times, but the limited times seem to be a pretty big deal, and it's pretty dope because you can like get Randy Moss and Ty Law, Rod Woodson, things along those lines, and you can power them up with training. And at this time, like training is probably as low as it's ever been, and it might be getting just a little bit lower. So prior to this playoff promotion, because a lot of these cards are going to spike up in price, especially if they release like a highly anticipated like Legends card, or not Legends card, but they might do Legends cards that haven't gotten a upgrade throughout this, and they'll be like the playoff legends and give them like a 97 overall or something, like they did with the Willie McGinnis and the Steve Smith. But getting into Marshawn Lattimore stats, I totally got off topic there. He's 6 foot tall, of course. He's got 94 speed, 94 acceleration, really fast, and you power him up, especially if you got like sprinter or something, or some sort of Saints Kims. He'd be at like a 96, 97 speed, especially if you get all of those plus a John Madden. So he'd be like one of the fastest cornerbacks in the game, probably like one speed off from like Dion, if I'm not mistaken. 93 agility, 92 jumping, 91 play recognition with a 95 man, which he is absolutely known for. He's known to put the clamps one-on-one on the best receiver, and 93 zone with a 93 press. So this card is absolutely well-rounded and can, like I said, really put the clamps on whoever he goes up against. Now, I pulled his flashback card a while back, but I didn't use it because he was going for such a high amount. And now look at him now. He's like 150K. I'm pretty sure his price spiked up since they released that Marshawn Lattimore will get this card. But all in all, I think he's a really good card, and I should expect to see him more and more on people's teams, especially if you go on like seasons games or things along those lines. Trying to showcase the players that actually got a here we go, a set player. Now, starting with the lowest overall, if you're just not joining and you don't know, 84 will be the lowest overall for these set players. It'll jump to 85, 87, 88, 91, 93. They really haven't been showing my man Ryan Ramczyk no love, but he did get the 93 overall card. Hasn't gotten any love since the Harvest promotion, so good to see him in there. And this card is actually a beast. His Harvest card wasn't that bad. I haven't seen the stats on Ryan Ramczyk, but based upon what I've seen from his, I think it was a 90 or 91 overall, I can only assume that 93 overall version of him is going to have some pretty dope stats. And they do have to compete with the Lane Johnsons and the other card, Michael or Mitchell Schwartz, whatever the right tackle's name for the Chiefs are. He got a pretty dope card as well. But Alex Anzalone definitely deserved this card. He's been balling out at the middle linebacker position. Marcus Williams, everybody knows him. Minneapolis Miracle. He's had a pretty good, pretty decent bounce back season since then. Jermaine Bushrod, if I'm not mistaken, no, it was Armstead. Something Armstead got the blitz card, and that blitz card was ass. Josh Hill, who's actually a pretty underrated tight end, especially in that system with the Saints when they have so many weapons. Eventually, Josh Hill, I think Benjamin Watson is actually off the Saints and is in a Ravens uniform. I could be mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But Josh Hill definitely hits those seams in the middle every now and then. They don't really give him too much love. They don't really give the tight ends too much love, period, since Jimmy Graham left. Accidentally hit that, but overall, these are some pretty solid cards. AJ Klein, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm not too informed on AJ Klein's performance, but I have seen him make a few plays. But let's go ahead and get into, hopefully, the next one isn't too far off. Bam! That didn't take long at all. As we got a Mr. C.J. Mosley, who got the Ravens, speaking of Ravens, 95 overall hero. And my mans who actually made that crazy, as they said on the stream, user lurk of Baker Mayfield to seal the game and send the Ravens to the playoffs for the first time in a couple years, if I'm not mistaken. Also, correct me on that if I'm wrong. But my man's 6'2", 88 speed, 93 acceleration. His strength and block shedding are a little low, but not a whole lot of middle linebackers really have the best of strength in block shedding, so it's really not too big of a deal. He's got 95 hit power with a pretty dope 88 zone coverage, 96 tackle, and a 94 play recognition. He's really bounced back since his, if I'm not mistaken, he had a pretty bad year his second year because he was a beast his rookie year. Didn't have the best of years his sophomore year, but a lot of players do go through those type of slumps, hence known the sophomore slump. And came back these past 2 years and really been a solid force in the middle of that defense. And he's a really underrated player in the NFL, period. So, but overall, pretty solid card. Let's go ahead and see if we can peep his players or his set players. I can't remember exactly. I wonder if they gave Lamar Jackson a playoff card. That would actually be pretty dope. And quick run. No, they did not. I'm assuming they thought that the blitz version was just going to be enough to hold us until, he actually does something pretty dope. Now looking, I always try to do this from the least overall to the highest. So we got Ty Montgomery, who's got the 84 overall, Tony Jefferson, who has the 95 overall, Ronnie Stanley, who's actually also a very underrated lineman in the NFL. He's got an 87 overall. Michael Pierce, yet again, another underrated player in the NFL. Dude's got so that whole defense is just stacked from top to bottom, honestly. Hence the reason they are the number one defense in the NFL. You got Michael Crabtree, who hasn't really been making too much noise, but especially since Lamar Jackson came in, you really can't expect that to happen on a day-to-day basis just because Lamar Jackson isn't the best passer of the football yet. But Michael Crabtree's made his fair share of plays. And then we got 93 overall Marlon Humphrey, who's absolutely balling. You do not get the number one defense in the league without having some sort of secondary help between him and Jimmy Smith out there locking on the outside. It's definitely hard to go ahead and get anything over the middle, or excuse me, on the outside. I'm thinking of C.J. Mosley already. And then don't forget about T-Sizzle and them boys out there. So go ahead and skip forward a little bit. Now, this is also a card I didn't honestly expect. When I'm thinking about like playoff cards, I really didn't think that Brandon Cooks of all people would get this. But looking at his stats, I'm not disappointed by any means necessary. Dude's 5'10", 95 speed with an 87 jump and 95 catch, 91 catch in traffic, 93 spec catch, also with a 93 short route running. Deep route running is also a 93 with a 92 mid route running. Dude's like a better Tyreek Hill in my opinion, and this might actually force Tyreek Hill's value like down a little bit because his blitz card, 93 overall blitz card, also has 95 speed, and then you could put the same, put Brandon Cooks in the power up set, put Sprinter, and then of course there's a lot of LA Ram players out there, so you can go ahead and do your LA Rams, Kims if you're like a diehard person like that. Or, you got John Madden. Dude can get to like a 97, 98 speed if you play your cards right. And this could definitely replace Tyreek Hill in a lot of people's lineups. So this is an interesting card to go ahead and keep an eye on, especially his team of the week boss. And I don't know if it was a boss or a hero, but definitely keep an eye out on his cards, period. They probably already shot up in price. It's kind of late right now, and typically when it's kind of late, the prices are really inflated on certain cards. So I do not advise you to buy any of these cards at this time, period. Never buy after like 7 o'clock unless you're just like kind of peeping and you see a snipe. Like you got to take it, but I never advise you to do that because not a whole lot of people are on, and it kind of, like I said, inflates the market. But Brandon Cooks is definitely going to knock Tyreek Hill out of his cemented place as like one of the fastest players. Him and Randy Moss have also done that. So, but looking at the set players, Corey Littleton, who's kind of having a little bit of an underrated season, but that defense really isn't that solid in the middle at least, to give him any like sort of serious recognition. I'm surprised Marcus Peters isn't up here. Now, I don't know what they have in the fold for him in the future, but of course he's got a power up. And if they gave Demaryius Thomas, Hunter Henry, Delaney Walker, these type of players, people who've been injured the entire season, a card, expect him to get a card sometime soon. So I'm honestly a little confused on when they might give him one because he hasn't had one since his primetime performer. But moving on a little bit. You got Dante Fowler Jr., who's actually coming on as of late. Well, really ever since, I want to say, the Chiefs game, which I think might have been his first game as a Ram, who he actually had a pretty solid game. And he's been balling out pretty much since he's been traded to the Rams. It's pretty easy to get back there and create havoc when you got Aaron Donald on your team. So that's a huge boost for him. Tyler Higbee, who's been a little underrated in the offense. Malcolm Brown, honestly, you could have just put C.J. Anderson there, but since he just got a team of the week card, not really complaining too much. Nickel Roby-Coleman, definitely a dude you don't want to test, and of course you got Aqib Talib. Roby-Coleman has actually been balling since last year. This is actually his second year in a row getting a playoff upgrade. And I actually had him on my team last year, and he was pretty solid at the cornerback position. He was actually a sleeper. Talking so fast. Let me get a drink of water. Oh, I don't have no water. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and take a break right before I start playing some games. But of course, Mr. Tom, the GOAT Brady, a player that was actually, 100% wholeheartedly expected to get a card in this playoff promotion. Just didn't expect it, honestly, to be like this. Of course, he's a current player, so I guess current players would get that 95 overall. But I kind of expected him to get more of like a 97, just due to the fact that he is widely renowned as a GOAT. I don't think anybody has any more playoff wins, any wins. He's got the most Super Bowl rings of all time, of course. So his middle name should be NFL playoffs. Like that's how cemented he is. But his stats are actually pretty decent. I'm not really a big fan of the 88 deep, but his arm isn't what it used to be. Even though they gave him a 94 throw power, but all that can be fixed with the go deep chemistry that you can put up there. So 61 speed, 94 throw power, 97 short, which might be the best in the game, right in front of Steve Young. 95 throw mid, with the go deep chemistry is at 91 throw deep. What? Yeah, throw deep throwing accuracy. I always want to say something gay, so I don't know, man. It's just something weird to my mind's program too. But 96 throw under pressure should definitely be a 99. The only way to get that up is I think either Patriots passing chemistries or freaking West Coast chemistries could do that. But 87 throw on a run, which isn't too bad for Brady, but he will throw some duckies if you try to get out the pocket with him in a 96 play action. So taking a look at what his playoff set cards look like. Try to speed through this just a little bit because I still want to go ahead and pull up the thread for the new legends and kind of give you a rundown on those. But the one I really didn't expect was Lawrence Guy. Like, look at that. 93 overall defensive tackle on the Patriots. Like, you really don't expect that. So me personally, I don't really follow every team in the NFL like I used to, but you really don't expect Lawrence Guy to have that coveted spot. And so he must be doing something right. But Sony Michel, I'm pretty familiar with him. John Simon, let's be honest. The Patriots always have that one dude or a couple dudes who you don't know, and they're just flying under the radar. But I'm surprised Patrick Chung is actually an 88. Yeah, fuck it.